The first step to making a sculpture with clay slabs is to make a paper template that you can set on top of your clay and cut out the shapes that you want. My base shape is an equilateral triangle, and my wall shapes are pentagons. Both the triangle and the pentagon have side lengths of 3 inches. Once you have your base and wall templates, you're ready to get a hunk of clay and start rolling it out. The tricky thing about rolling out slabs of clay is they're going to want to stick to the board and to the roller. So roll twice and then flip. You can see it already wanting to stick to the PVC pipe a little bit there. Roll twice, flip. You can also move it around to dry spots on the board, and that will also help avoid it sticking to the board of the roller. As you roll, you're going to stop at a pinky thick slab of clay, so use the tip of your pinky to gauge the thickness. Don't stop rolling yet if your clay is thicker than your pinky, and don't roll too thin or your walls will be too flimsy. Once you have a pinky thick slab, set your base on it, and then take your fettling knife and clean it off so you can make a nice clean cut, and position it about a pinky's width or a pencil's width away from the edge and slice out a parallel line. We need this extra width so that the walls can sit nicely on the base. It'll make sense when you start stacking those walls. You'll see how you need that extra little bit of clay on the edges so that they're not hanging off the ends. Once you have your base, grab another hunk of clay and roll out another pinky thick pancake and start cutting out your walls. Depending on how many sides your base has, you'll either need 6, 8, or 10 walls. For a triangle, you'll need 6 because each wall has an alternating piece. So 3 sides, 6 walls, 4 sides, 8 walls, and for a pentagon that has 5 sides, you'll need 10 walls. The keys to success when you're rolling out these walls are to flip the slabs so they don't stick and to make sure they're all rolled out to exactly pinky thick. If the timing works out, it's nice to give your walls some time to dry. So hopefully you'll finish them up around the end of class. You can package them up nice and neat and let them have some time overnight to stiffen up just a little bit. The next morning, you can unpackage them and it'll be time to put them together. The first step to putting your walls together is just to mock arrange them, assemble them, just so that you can understand how they fit together before you actually stick them together. So I'm just kind of setting them up in the position that they would eventually be stuck together, and I'm checking out how that top piece fits in there. I'm just wrapping my head around how this shape is going to come together. Once you understand how the pieces will fit, lay them back out and arrange them in the position they're going to go together in. That way you know which parts to score, which is the next step. You take this looks like a little miniature saw, and you're not going to use a saw action, you're actually going to use it more like a paintbrush action, kind of a back and forth, to scratch up the surfaces that are going to stick together. Flat pieces of clay will not stick together. You have to tear them up like this and make little clay fingers that will bond. So I'm seeing where that piece is going to fit on top of the base, and I'm scoring that up. And then all of your other pieces will attach not at their sides, but really at their corners. So to make these corners fit together well, you're actually going to score the corner itself and wear it down into about a 45-degree angle, into it's called a taper, this diagonal angle that the corner will take after you wear it down with the scoring disc. You can kind of see there how I've taken that corner off with that scoring disc, just scratched it right off. Score, 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 so that there's no longer a corner there, but there's a diagonal angle. You go around all your pieces and scratch them everywhere where the joints are going to come together. Once you have all your attachment points scored, dip your fingers into your water cup and then dab all of those scratched areas with just a little bit of water. This is like the glue that's going to really bond that clay together. Don't overdo it with the water or your pieces will come together really sloppily and they'll be too slick. And then you just start putting the pieces down carefully, right where they need to go. Gently pressing them at first just so that they stand up. Put another piece on, gently press it in. After you have them all in the right position, go back and press them together a little more firmly. Take pride in your work as you do this step. If you don't take your time and you're not determined to make it look good, it may come out sloppy. Be supportive of your pieces. Don't let them slump around and fall over. It's going to be delicate as you put it together, and it will strengthen up once all the pieces are in place. After all your pieces are in place, go around and just push them together again. Another firm check at all the joints. If you don't push those attachment points together, they're going to slip out of place. Once everything's in place, now it's time to make those seams look good. So go around with a tool and first stitch and then smooth. As you stitch and smooth, don't round the corners of your sculpture. You want to have nice sharp edges, but you just don't want to see the lines in between each slab. So again, I'm stitching, making little horizontal lines across the seams, and then I'm smoothing. You can use your fingers to smooth, you can use a tool, and go around and hit every single seam. Don't forget about the ones at the base of your sculpture as well. As you do this, you're going to need to support your walls on the inside. If you ever feel like your walls are getting pushed in or caving in, put your hand down in the middle of your pot or put a tool down in there so you can support those walls from the inside. And there you have it. That's the nice basic form of our sculpture. We're going to go and put a rim on it and do some details and sculptures and carvings on it. But that is the basic form right there. Alright, have at it, guys.